get ready for a long-winded intro because I feel like that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to get this started. Anyway, right into whatever the fucking beginning of this video is. Fuck this video. This is like take number 500 of this video. I've been working on it for like 2 months now. It's literally the hardest video that I think I've ever made, like ever, for multiple reasons. Creatively, I don't know how to make this video because I want to make video that is good for everyone and not just for trans people who want to know the nitty-gritty, or people who are outside looking in and just want to understand but don't really want to know, 3 hours worth of vlog footage of this kind of stuff. And so it's just been really hard, and yeah, and then on top of that, I don't feel like I want to talk about it. Like, I don't want to talk about it, more or less, and it's not I don't want to talk about it because I'm uncomfortable about it, or I don't want to talk about it because it's something that I want to keep to myself. It's more or less just, I don't want to talk about it because I don't really feel a need to talk about it. Like, I want to be able to help educate people and help them, like, understand the process I went through, help them understand everything that, like, there is to understand about this. But at the same time, it feels like it's not that big of a thing. Like, it's more like good, I got that done and out of the way. I feel good, I feel great. Honestly, it's like dysphoria, but outside of that, it's just like, whatever, I feel normal, I feel fine. There's really nothing to talk about. It would be no different than, I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure if you know what I'm trying to say, you understand, just the fact that I just don't feel a need to talk about it because it doesn't feel like it's that special or significant that it needs to be talked about, if that makes sense. So the way that I'm going to do this is going to be in 3 parts. First is this video. This video, if you want to hear basically the basic surgery day, how it went, how recovery was, and how I'm doing, this video is for you. The other videos, or the other part, I want to do a Q&A, which this video, ask me the questions down below, at me on Twitter, at Joselyn Martello, anything, whatever, that is, I want to do a Q&A. And then the third part of it is my vlog footage. I have a lot of vlog footage for the people who really want to just see the details, who want to spend some time to see how the entire process went. Basically to see the story unfold from my perspective, from the day that I got a call from the doctor about being able to set up a consult up until, I think, 6 weeks after surgery. But yeah, so anyway, without further ado, let's just jump into it. Alright, so I had SRS on April 17th, 2019. Obviously, I survived. It was with Dr. Rumer down in Ardmore, which she did a fantastic job. Her team is amazing. I fucking love her team. I get excited anytime I get to go down there and I get to see them because they're so sweet and great. Surgery went really well. I went in at 6 a.m., went in there, had to do a shit ton of paperwork, and then they took me in around 8:15, I think it was 8:30, and I barely even remember any of that. They wheeled me in, I think they asked me some questions, and the next thing you know, I remember being yelled at by the doctors for crossing my legs, because apparently the second I came out of anesthesia, I normally, when I'm laying down, I cross my legs, I put my feet over my feet like this, but kind of leave my legs open, but apparently I did that immediately after coming out of anesthesia, and was able to move again, and they kept on yelling at me to not do that. Anyway, so I got out of surgery, I slowly woke up, it was all good. They told me everything went good, everything went smooth, which was obviously great to hear. They were like, you had great depth, you have, everything looks good, and I was like, cool. The type. I also I got breast augmentation. I forgot that. I got breast augmentation and SRS at the same time. So when I woke up, honestly, I wasn't too sore. I had to have on I had a surgical bra on, and then the nightgown thingy, and then some surgical underwear, and that was about it. I had an IV in. I had an IV in here, which was also hooked up to a morphine drip that I was able to hit the button anytime I needed it, which I really didn't need. I think within my first 12 hours, I think I only hit it 7 times, which I don't think is bad at all. And I think most of that was over the night with me trying to sleep. But more or less, I was just in a room. I had a little TV thing there, and the nurse by it, and that was about it. I had a catheter, and I had 2 drains. I'll post a picture up here of the drains and shit. So night 1, it pretty much went smooth. I got out, I think it was around 12:30. I think the first time that I remember it was around 1ish or so. So I think I got out around 12:15, 12:30, and that was around when I finally woke up and was in my room, and all good to go. And then they brought me food, and I surprisingly, like, I didn't feel like I just got out of surgery. Like, I was really groggy and just out of it for like the first day or two until I finally felt normal again. Though I didn't realize how groggy I was until later on, and looking back, I was like, wow, I was out of it. Especially that first day, because most of it's just like a blur that kind of blurs together until like 2 a.m. But yeah, so I remember they would just bring me food, they'd check on me, they'd tell me about my thing, and I would think I just more or less laid there and chatted with people on Facebook and watched TV, or I watched Beauty and the Beast or something. I don't know, I remember I was really bored because I was doing a lot better than I thought I would. And I didn't bring anything to do because I was expecting to be out of commission and just wanting to lay there, but I was outside of the grogginess of like not being able to think straight. I was like, good. I was like, I'm ready to move, but obviously I couldn't move. At this time, the only really issue that I had is my catheter. Like, it just felt like I constantly had to pee, but everybody's like, that's normal. I asked all my friends, and they're like, yeah, because I've never had a catheter before. And they're like, yeah, when you have a catheter, it feels like you have to pee all the time. And I was just like, okay. But as the day went, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And by 2 a.m., it was terrible to the point that I couldn't move. And I was just like, I'm pretty sure that this is not normal. Apparently when I did the whole leg crossing thing, I ended up kinking my catheter. And yeah, so for about 12 hours or so plus, I did not pass any urine, which was just terrible. It was the worst pain I've ever been in. And I don't think I will ever I hope I will never ever feel the need to pee that bad. They were able to fix it, and then that was all good. And really, that was the only complication of my entire surgery. They did this different thing with dressing the surgical site. With what they used is, I can't remember what it's called. If I could look up the name, because I sent the name of it to my friend. So if I could find the name, I'll pop it up on the screen. It was like a zero pressure vacuum system or something, and it was basically, they put a whole bunch of plastic down there, and it was like plastic wrap almost, with like medical plastic wrap with like tape and stuff that had just a bunch of tubes running down there and a sponge in there that basically just sucked up all the blood, and then the vacuum just sucked everything out. I didn't have gauze or whatever, and you know, outside of the clearness, like I can already see how things were. But it was just weird. I never heard of that before. I've never seen that before, but it worked really, really well. There was no swelling. After 3 days, they took it off. And that was when I was discharged from the hospital. They took it off, and then there was really no bleeding at all. And then it was just, there was no gauze, there was nothing there. I had no dressings on. Basically, outside of that vacuum thing, there was no like gauze or anything down there. There was just that vacuum thing. After 3 days, they took the vacuum off, and then that was it. And then all I had was my catheter, and then there's 2 blood drains, which were like in the top area. Which, if I could find a picture, I could even show like how the drains were in. After that, then I went back to my uncle's house, which is where I was staying, which I forgot this crazy plot twist. I'll probably get into more details of it in like the vloggy video. But my parents ended up being the ones who took me. They ended up renting a car and taking me down to be able to go there. And I stayed at my uncle's house, which was unexpected and awesome, and like, I didn't let them see it, but it made me cry because I don't know, it was like the most supportive or helpful or anything my parents have been throughout all of this. Like, they made sure I got to my surgery, and they were there up until they took me back to the surgery room. But yeah, they hung out with me up until I went in and everything, which I did not expect. And then this is where it gets boring, because pretty much up until the following week, I just laid there. I think I played Fallout 76 up until I had to go down for my 1 week follow-up, where they took the drains out, they took the packing out, they took everything out, and I learned how to dilate. For those of you who don't know what dilation is, and this is your new thing to the surgery, basically what dilation is it's kind of like if you've ever stretched your ears. For those of you who know anything about ear stretching, it's kind of like that. It's basically where like you have to put something in there to make sure that it stays open and stays at the right width and a depth, and you just have to do that. And yeah, so that's something that I had to learn how to do. It's something I have to do 4 times a day for the first, I think, months, for 20 minutes each, and then it's 3 times a day for 20 minutes each for 2 months, and then I think it's 2 times and then 1 time for life. It's a total of like 6 months of doing it up until you hit 1 time for life. It's not fun at all. It's extremely uncomfortable, but hey, it's what I need to do. So anyway, I learned how to do that, and then basically after that, literally all it was and has just been playing video games. Like, I'm home now, but yeah, I was playing video games and dilating, watching movies and dilating, basically dilating all the time. My pain throughout the entire thing never went higher than a 3, and the 3 was when the bladder was all fucked up. Outside of the bladder things, my pain never went higher than a 1.5, maybe a 2. I had some few times where I was really, the most like issues that I've had is I had a few days where I was really frustrated just at the lack of things that I could do. Like, I couldn't even get into bed by myself. I had to have my friend help. I had to have Mackenzie help get me in and out of bed. I needed help with a lot of things. I couldn't stay standing for more than 15 minutes without getting lightheaded. And just a lot of just different things that it frustrated me because I like being able to do things for myself. And since I couldn't, it just made me really upset. But outside of that, I didn't have any complications, any problems. Dysphoria has literally been like dysphoria who. Like, I really haven't dealt with it too much. Everything looks really great and feels great. There's sensation and shit. Everything just is good. Everything turned out really well. My breast augmentation stuff, I honestly, I keep forgetting that I had it done, to be honest. So that's why I barely talked about it, because I didn't have any issues and everything turned out really good with that. Like, you can't even notice, I don't know. I posted a lot of pictures and people haven't noticed because I got it pretty much, I only got them to be the point that they look like they do in a bra without me having to wear a bra, because no, I don't have to worry about that, and it would match my frame. So I think that's probably why they aren't that noticeable. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's, I think another reason why making this video was hard was because not really much happened. Like, yeah, I had my surgery, and that's pretty much all this video needed to be. Was it's just like I had my surgery, didn't have any problems at all, and it was a 10/10. Would recommend. But yeah, that's, I think, another reason why it was hard, just because I haven't had what was there for me to talk about? Like, nothing really happened outside of getting surgery. Anyway, I guess that is all for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, especially if you want to hear about any other stuff that I just talked about. And yeah, and also be sure to ask your questions down below. I will answer whatever I can in as much detail as I can. I'm not going to be, answering weird perverted questions, because I'm sure there's going to be some people out there, but I'm going to try to answer as best as I can. And we'll do the Q&A once I get a good number of questions and can go through and everything. So you can either comment them down below, or you can @ me at Twitter. It's at Joselyn Martello, just my name. Or you can go on my Facebook page. All that's linked down in the description bar. Anyway, I guess that's all. I will see you guys next video. Bye!